after watching the video about tornadoes and hurricane, let's talk about those two types of severe weather. So let's go over our DLO, our daily learning objective, and then we'll talk about it. I'll go first. Today I will gather information about severe weather. Now it's your turn. Today I will gather information about severe weather. So let's review. Severe weather is weather that is very stormy, and severe weather usually or can cause great damage in the community, whether it's breaking branches, trees falling down, property being blown around, houses being damaged. Pretty bad weather. So yesterday we had some bad weather, but was it severe weather? I don't really think so. It just snowed. The roads weren't icy. The tree branches pretty much stayed where they were at least in my neighborhood. If it was worse somewhere else, I don't know. But I wouldn't call the little snowstorm we had severe weather. It was just snowy weather. Sometimes we get that in the fall here in Farmington. So I want to show you a picture of a couple different tornadoes. So in the video, it talked about the strong winds and the warm air that causes tornadoes. So a tornado has very strong winds that twist round and round. Many tornadoes happen during thunderstorms. So we learned about thunderstorms earlier, and tornadoes can happen during some thunderstorms in some parts of the world. Not here in Farmington. They happen in places where cold air and warm air meet. So take a look at these two different looking tornadoes. The dark area is the clouds, is a spinning column of wind. So a column goes up and down. So this is the spinning here, and this one is a little skinnier, and this one is a big, wider tornado. What do you think these shapes look like? This one is kind of long and thin, and over here this one looks more like a funnel. So if you've ever had a kitchen funnel, it starts wide at top and then it goes to a point so that you could like pour liquid or something into a skinnier hole. But that's the shape of that funnel. Tornadoes have very strong winds. What do you already know can happen in severe weather with strong winds? We just talked about it. When we've got strong winds, property can be blown around. Trees can fall down. Trees can fall on cars. Trees can fall on houses or buildings. Trees can actually come up out of the ground. They can uproot. They just fall right over. So if their branches aren't breaking off, they can just fall over. And sometimes the branches hit the power lines, and then it causes the power to cut out, and then we don't have power. So we know that strong winds can cause a lot of damage, but tornadoes are very, very, very strong winds, and they twist around and cause a lot of damage. Now let's look at another type of severe weather. This is a hurricane. Now there's something different about this picture that we don't see in Farmington. We don't have big trees like this in Farmington. And here's the beach. This is the ocean. So hurricanes are another type of severe weather, a storm that's very strong. Like tornadoes, hurricanes can have very, very strong winds. Hurricanes happen close to the ocean, and they have strong winds and rain. So just like a tornado, they're during thunderstorms where it's raining and windy. Hurricanes happen when it's very stormy and windy and rainy. So they have a couple different similarities, things that are the same. Do you think that we could have a hurricane here in Farmington? Let's think. Hurricanes usually happen, or they do happen, by the ocean, where there's lots of warm water. Do we live near an ocean? Let's look. So on my globe, the big blue parts are the ocean, and here's the United States. And we live in New Mexico in the top left corner here. So are we next door to an ocean? Not really. The ocean is way on both sides. So Do you think we could have a hurricane in Farmington? I don't think so. Hurricanes can cause damage like flooding because they're near the ocean, and the land that's by the ocean is really, really low to the ground. So sometimes when there's wind and all that rain and the ocean is being tossed around, it comes up on land and causes a lot of damage. What are the weather patterns that we see with hurricanes? Do they just happen on a clear blue sky day? Nope. It's cloudy, strong winds, and heavy rain. So now you're going to record a quick little video on here telling me one fact about tornadoes, one fact about hurricanes, and then I want you to tell me one thing that they have in common. Hurricanes and tornadoes. What do they have that's the same? And then tell me a fact about each one. So now it's your turn.